Happy Halloween, everyone. I hope today's episode finds you all in good spirits awaiting the candy festivities. I know my kiddos are looking forward to hopefully going trick or treat. Dad and I are a little under the weather, so if you couldn't tell by my voice, I'm kind of sounding like a man over here. But
No.
I hope that I hope you guys don't mind. But I brought along a friend for today. My friend Brittany has joined us
Hi.
again. Now, fun fact, today is also Brittany's birthday. So whoop, happy
Yay.
birthday, girl.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Party.
Any big plans after today's episode?
um, I don't know yet. I was thinking about doing a longer stream, like a birthday stream on Twitch today.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Um,
Kind
but
of
I
a
haven't.
virtual birthday party.
Yeah, kinda. I'm mainly simming, so probably a lot of Sims. Maybe switch it up, play some games with the community, that sort of thing. Haven't decided yet.
Cool.
So, anyhow.
Well, we are going to just jump right into this today. And I want to let everyone know, and this includes you as well, Brittany, I am not going to be talking about the perpetrator's background as much, um,
Okay.
due to the fact that, in my eyes, there is no excuse for what he did.
I feel like that's any murderer,
This,
crime person. But you know what? Well, sometimes it helps understand how they tick.
it
Okay,
does,
okay, I can see
but
what you mean.
in this case, he is. We're going to get into all of this, but today's episode is based on the psychological terror that he
Ugh,
created.
psychological.
And oh yes, this case is going to be about every homeowner's worst nightmare. And it may
I've
be a nightmare that you haven't even thought of yet.
well, uh, I've not been a homeowner yet, so this is going to be great. Yay! Okay. I've
All
been
right.
renting forever. Anyway.
Warning. Today's episode depicts psychological terror as well as rape, murder, and crimes against children. Listener discretion is highly advised. Daniel J. LaPlante was born May 15th, 1970. Now, supposedly, he was sexually abused by his own father, his stepfather, and his psychiatrist.
Jeez.
His classmates would all describe him as creepy and weird.
Well, okay.
Well, now keep in mind, every person that is described as creepy and weird is not always a killer. I mean, you
It's
know,
the quiet ones you have to look out for.
well, I'm creepy and weird and awkward, but I would never hurt
Uh-huh.
anybody.
I,
So,
I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't look over my shoulder sometimes. I'm just teasing. Go ahead.
and this is how we are best friends. But anywho, on the afternoon of December 1st, 1987, he entered the Gustafson home with the intent to burglarize it. At some point, a pregnant Priscilla Gustafson came home with her 5-year-old son, William. Daniel would then rape and kill Priscilla by shooting her twice in the head. And then he would drown William in the bathroom. As he was coming out of the bedroom, he noticed that 7-year-old Abigail had just come home from school and decided she would be his final victim. He took her to the other bathroom and he drowned her as well. A year later, he was sentenced to 3 life sentences for those murders. In March of 2017, a resentencing hearing would have a judge reaffirm that sentence, but with the possibility of parole after 45 years. However, the judge determined he was not remorseful. The worst part of all of that is those murders never should have happened.
Well, none, but yes. But why? He was going to burgle, whatever. He was going to steal stuff and then killed them?
Yes, and this was
Because
not the first time that he burglarized that home. He had actually burglarized that home on November, what day was it? November 13th, I think.
so is he like obsessed with them or was? Like what is going on here?
So, in order to understand that part and how it got to that, we now have to backtrack
Oh, well, you're welcome.
to, to 1986. And before all of this, Daniel had stalked and terrorized 15-year-old Tina Bowen. Now, there are conflicting reports to the relationship between he and Tina, but supposedly they had went out for an ice cream date around Easter, and it did not progress the way that he had hoped. And some say that it was because her dad found out that he had pending rape charges. And then some say that Daniel catfished Tina. Either way, the rest is history.
Huh. Okay. Wow. Where's my drink? Okay.
Already.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, by the fall of 1986, Daniel had managed to find a way into Tina's home, where he began to torture her and her sister psychologically.
Wait a minute. You said it was so you hold on. Did
We
did
backtrack
did
here.
did yeah, I know. Did Tina live in that house that Priscilla lived in?
No, this was
You
in a
said
different.
burgled the same home and then you're talking about a whole nother person. I really need another drink.
It will make sense, I promise.
Okay.
I will make it make sense for you.
Okay.
So, in the fall of 1986, he managed to get into their home. He saw that those 2 girls attempted to contact their recently passed mother by the Ouija board.
Uh,
And he then began acting like a ghost. He would rearrange items and he would scrawl disturbing messages in ketchup. And he even, yeah, I know.
I'm
And then,
sorry. The words I want to use to describe. Just, what a jerk.
yes. And he
Oh,
even used a knife one time to pin a family picture to the wall.
Lord have mercy.
Like he had the whole town believing that these girls were insane.
Oh my god.
Nobody believed them. Not even their own father believed them.
I feel like I need to explain real quick to any listeners, because they've only heard me one other time, that I laugh to when I don't want to say when I'm nervous because I'm not really nervous. I laugh at everything, even inappropriate moments.
Yes.
So Yeah.
We don't do that. I have explained that as well with myself that I tend to laugh at
Like, ooh,
serious
Ouija
topics.
board, I'ma go. That sounds like
We
something
try to
my
find
fiance would
fun
do.
in
Anyway. Anyway.
it. So even their dad didn't believe that they were seeing something, that something was going on, and it wasn't them doing it. But that would change on December 8th of 1986. The girls came home to find things moved around and used in the home. The TV was on different channels, there was food gone, just different things were not adding up. So their father went and he was searching the home and he actually found Daniel in the girl's closet with his face painted and he was brandishing a hatchet.
Oh boy.
He managed to get all three of them into a bedroom and then he just disappeared into the house.
Oh jeez.
Tina was able to escape through a window and was able to call the police. It took the police 2 days to find him, and they found him in the cellar of the home. He was in a triangular space in a corner where he had clearly been living for weeks. He was held at a juvenile jail until October of 1987.
My brain's slow. I'm sorry. Did you just say he was like in their house, like living, like
He was living in the walls.
in the in the in the walls?
Walls.
It, it, it,
Uh
hmm. Well, I'm not sleeping.
huh.
We're just gonna go.
He was held in juvenile jail for a year almost. And at that point, the courts decided they were going to try him as an adult, which then made him
How old
eligible
was
for
he?
bail.
Oh, 87. You said 1970. He was only like,
17 when in October of 1987. When he was doing this, he was 16.
oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Living in the walls. I just wrote this in all caps on my notes. Because what?
Uh-huh.
I, okay.
And there is actually a video that you can watch of this case. And I will give that video toward the end. But
Okay. Because I'm
um,
watching it.
oh, girl, you're gonna want to. But they don't
Yay!
give the actual name of the girls. Um, I found it by accident. Um, but
Okay.
anyway, the courts decided they were going to try him as an adult. Okay, so that then made him eligible for bail. His mother refinanced her home and posted a $10,000 bond. On November 16th, 1987, he got out of jail in October of 1987. By November 16th, 1987, he had already burglarized the Gustafson home once,
Oh my god.
and he would return on December 1st, and he would kill the children and their mother and their unborn sibling.
I'm trying to wrap
Now,
my brain around what comments I want to make. Or questions.
there's a lot of questions, I
So
know.
many. I need answers.
So, this all The psychological side of this, where he's living in the walls, happened
Yeah.
in Pepperell, Massachusetts.
Why is it
Okay,
always Massachusetts?
girl, it's got to be the ocean. I'm
Like,
blaming it on the ocean being so
I
close.
mean, I'm well aware that there's murders that go on everywhere else, but it's always like Massachusetts with like all the spooky supernatural Salem. Great
Right.
example. That apparently isn't named Salem anyway. I learned that in your podcast the other day. Uh, and then the other one is Florida because it's always Florida man this, Florida man that.
Yeah.
So it's like, what? You did just say it must be the ocean. And Florida is,
Mm-hmm.
wow, that's why. Okay, I'm sorry. Go on.
So let me touch on the resentencing hearing that he actually asked for. Daniel LaPlante in 2017 asked for a reduction in sentence because there was a new law that allowed juveniles that were convicted of murder with extreme cruelty and atrocity to ask for parole after they've been behind bars a minimum of 30 years.
Um, why do they let any of these people go ever?
Right?
I don't understand.
I don't care if he was 16 or if he was 36. At 16 years old, you know the difference between right and wrong.
Or at least you better.
Right. You should know.
Like, I almost want to be like, did he have a bad upbringing? But like, I also think that that's not an excuse.
That's why I said I wasn't going to touch on that background very much. Because remember, they're trying to say, well, he was sexually abused by his father,
Oh
his
yeah, you did.
stepfather.
I wrote that down and I still asked. I'm stupid. I seriously wrote it down. I have to take notes, otherwise my brain. You could say a whole sentence to me, and I'll be like, "What?"
But we've already talked about so much in such a short amount of time that that would get kind of filtered out of your brain.
Well, yeah,
Because
but it's me,
those
so.
things, while they are bad, they are bad. I do agree that they're bad. I don't think that they played a role as much in what he was doing. Now, he did like to burgle homes. That was like a hobby for him, even before the whole psychological thing.
Jeez. And like, why 16, 17 years old? Why are you living in someone's walls?
He was stalking her. He was stalking Tina, and Tina was only 15.
Listen, 16, 17 years old, I'm too busy with school and homework and everything else to worry about stalking somebody. That is
Right?
crazy. Where do you find the time?
And he didn't even live in the same town.
Unless you just don't care, which it seems like he really didn't. And why was he stalking this girl? Was she really pretty? Like, why? I don't. Not that that's a reason, but I'm just saying, like, what what was his rationalization? There we go. Because
There isn't one.
of course not.
Actually, when you do the research on him, it's not easy finding the information about the stalking. You can find the murders, but you have a hard time finding anything about him stalking them. And the only reason that I knew about this case, and this case has haunted me since I heard about it.
Oh, yay.
I heard about this case about 3 or 4 years ago. And there is on the ID channel, and if you have Prime Video, you can watch it.
Oh, yes, I do.
It's called Your Worst Nightmare. It is season 2, episode 1. And it talks about Daniel LaPlante. but it's not true to the events that actually happened. Not completely, because they have to speed it up.
Right. Did they do like
But
reenactments and stuff on
they
that show?
do.
Oh,
Really
that,
weird is the boy that got to play him in the show looks very similar to the real guy.
man, these casting people though,
I know, right? They
they
do
all
their
need
research.
raises. That's anywhere because I get it.
But it's one of those cases where, you know, you just you think about, you have insurance for burglary
Hmm.
and for fire and for all of that, but you don't have insurance for somebody just
Living
living
in
in
your
your walls.
walls. Yeah. There's squatter white rights or some stuff, Like
Right.
I don't. So how did aside minus the murder, how would he have gotten uh
At that time, there
in
was no such
trouble?
thing as squatter rights.
Oh yeah, this is like the 80s. I keep forgetting.
Uh huh.
You keep
And
bringing me.
I have
You're
to.
taking me into history. See, I think that's one reason why I do like your podcast so much is because you do the true crime and whatnot, but it's like in the past. You're teaching us. It's a history lesson, really, versus like current event true crime.
And I love the fact that I'm able to explain sometimes, hopefully, how the justice system worked in a different time.
It's you
Because
could also see how it evolves too.
right. And it's like, it's easy. And I say this so much, but it's so easy for us to sit back and be like, well,
Right.
we do this and this and this, but you know, would we? If we were in that position at that time,
Right.
what would we do different?
So
Well, there's only so much you can do.
right. So let me just. I have a couple
Go right
questions
on
here.
ahead. Ask me any questions you have.
So, well, one is that all of the story that you have for me
That
on
is
him.
all of the actual
Okay.
story. Yes,
Is he still alive? Do we know?
he is.
Okay. And he's free or is he
No,
locked up? He's
he's still
locked
in
up.
jail.
Well,
He
that's
can't
good.
ask for parole again for 45 years.
In
He will be well
1970,
in his 70s or
I was
80s
I was
before he
gonna
gets
say
out.
1970. He's my dad's age. So
Mm-hmm.
holy crap. So, but he's still locked up, so that's good. And then
Yes.
okay.
I don't think he will see any freedom ever
What?
because he's not showing any remorse.
The
30
last
years
guy
later.
shouldn't have seen freedom.
Well, that was a different country.
Listen.
And we don't have control over their laws, but
Wake up, Ken.
here,
I'm sorry.
well, I don't think that they are not playing this one as a mental health crisis. They are playing this one as he was just a bad seed.
Oh yeah,
And
because he was emotional damage. So did he even have? You're welcome. Did he have any psychological evaluations? I can't think of words right now.
um by the psychiatrist who supposedly sexually
Oh,
abused him,
right. That's
and he
abuse.
diagnosed him with hyperactivity disorder, and he was also um, he had abnormal behavior, and he lacked hygiene. This is his words, not mine.
The therapist's words, or
Yes.
okay, psychologist, whatever. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, he said he was abnormal and had hygiene issues, yet supposedly
Uh-huh.
took advantage of.
Uh-huh. Make that work in your head. Work that math.
I don't I don't care how messed up of a sex offender I would be, and not that I am because I'm not, but hygiene would definitely be like a nah, bro. I don't care how
Right?
messed up you are to even be a sex offender, but hygiene, like boy, if you stank, I'm not with a 10-foot rod, honey. No.
And
But
some
then
just
again, I'm
don't
not a
care.
sex offender, so
Right. We don't have that mindset.
I do.
Because I had the same thought process as I was doing the research.
Like,
But
oh
it's
man, you smell so terrible. Come here. No. Here I
come
go
here, Roy,
laughing
make
again
your daddy
inappropriate.
talk. um
I'm sorry. I'm laughing
but
inappropriate
yeah,
times again. It's okay.
and I'm not trying to downplay any kind of sexual assault of any form.
No, no, no,
I'm
no.
very much against it.
Right.
But
Same. It's just mind boggling.
I just feel like most people would have standards, even
Right.
as a sex offender.
Right. You would think. But
You
again,
would think.
we're not one, so we don't know what they think.
Right. And it's really hard for us because we don't have that mindset.
Right.
But,
Makes me want to like Google some psychology stuff. A
right?
psychologist would know. But then again, ew, a psychologist, ew. Maybe that's the thing. They're a psychologist and they do know and ugh. I'm
Nobody
sorry.
would believe them.
Oh my god. That's just
Brittany, you may have touched on something there.
I mean I mean I'm at a loss for words because
Like
I
I'm enjoying having you to have this conversation with because we're going back and forth and I'm able to process things
yeah.
in real time and I'm able to actually try to explain it the way that my brain works so that my audience can see how my brain works. And this is how I get to
And then there's
the
me.
conclusions.
But yeah,
But see,
a
you're helping
psychologist.
me.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
But yeah, it's you know,
Wow.
any other
So,
questions for me?
someone who's a psychologist, I'm just like repeating that in my, well, not really in my brain if I'm saying it out loud. Um, Dang. A psychologist that probably does understand how a sex offender's brain works.
Mm-hmm. Be the perfect cover.
Yeah, that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Um, no, I don't think I have any other. I'm just still trying to wrap my head around why he attacked and burglared Priscilla's family. I'm saying Priscilla just because I don't know exactly how to say that last name and I'll butcher it. Gustafson?
Gustafson.
Gustafson? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let alone
So
stalking this girl and living in her walls.
so the Gustafsons lived in his hometown. He did not live in the same town as Tina Bowen. He lived in the next town over.
How did he know about her? Did they go to school together? I mean, in the 80s, I would imagine that the schools were smaller.
I had read that they had went to school together, but I had also heard that they were like talking on the phone. So I'm not entirely sure. There's no
Like,
true evidence of either one. So I don't know.
it's hard to make my brain go, this was pre-internet, so it's not like they met online. Like, this is pre-internet.
Right, and that's how I'm trying to remember is, how did people meet each other back before the internet?
Right.
I mean, you and I met
Unless you met
at
at
work,
school.
but
Right. Well, they're 16, so
right.
unless they worked at like the same burger joint or something.
From what I understand, Tina didn't work
So, I don't even know how old you were allowed to work back then.
back then. It was
Probably
fairly
younger.
young.
Yeah. Oh man.
So, yeah, he was stealing their food and taking it back to his little corner in the basement.
That's so messed up.
And what's messed up is the fact that the police took 2 days finding him, and he was right there in the house.
That's scary. That's unnerving.
Where he was located, where his main domain was in the house,
Hmm.
he could see and hear everything. He knew who was coming, who was going, where they were
Man,
at in the house.
not me about to check all my air ducts.
How smart was this boy to do that at 16 years old?
Right.
Because let's give the credit where it's due. That's actually smart. And he did this for months. Months.
That is so.
It's
Where was his
crazy.
where was his parents? Like they didn't care that he wasn't home?
He was troubled, so they didn't worry too much.
Okay, if they're troubled, that's when you worry.
That's when you keep a closer eye on him, I would
Exactly.
think,
Yeah.
because that troubled child is this.
See, this is another instance where this feels like a, a TV show.
Hmm.
This is
And there are movies about this case.
of course there are.
There is a Lifetime movie, and it's called The Boy in the Walls,
Oh my god.
and it is about this case. I have never seen it. I don't know if I want to see it
Yeah,
because
I don't.
Hollywood glamorizes these things, and they make it seem sometimes less innocent than it really was, or
Yeah.
they make it seem more innocent than it really was. And I just don't see how you can make this better.
Right.
It just doesn't add up to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. It's the way they tell a story. And
Hmm.
sometimes they bend it to your your character's view. Like maybe he's the narrator, so we're looking at it through his eyes. We're meant to feel how he feels.
And I think that's how they do it. I think that's how the movie is made.
I love when movies and shows do the different perspectives. Like, say
Yes.
it'll go one way through our suspect's eyes and then go through the victim's eyes. You can kind of see how each person perceives things. And then
Yes.
it's up to the viewer or audience to then, make their own, um, have their own
Conclusion.
feelings about it. Yeah, thank you. My brain doesn't work.
Mine usually doesn't when I'm recording. So I start talking and then I'm like, I had the word a second ago.
No, right,
Where'd it go? It
right.
ran away.
Uh,
But
Jeez,
yeah, yeah.
I don't
I
know.
really, I wish I had more on the police procedures for it. I wish I had, all that information. I do know that after he had killed Priscilla and William and Abigail,
Hmm.
it took them 2 days to catch him. They knew it was him. They knew it was him. They went straight to his house. But he ran and
Well, yeah.
he hid in the woods, and it took him 2 days to find him. But that is all the information that I could really find about the entire situation. But I am going to try to keep up with this one for a little bit and see if anything else comes to fruition with it. But I don't think they're going to let him out. I just
I
don't
hope
see how they
not.
could,
I hope not.
and they certainly wouldn't let him change his name once he gets out.
Swear that. Oh my god, I'm still reeling from that episode. I also re-listened to it today.
I promised you this one wouldn't be gross, though. Brittany, we thank you again for joining us, and hopefully we'll have you back soon with another fun episode.
Sure. Anytime.
And guys, please remember to like and follow the podcast on Spotify because, as I said before, I am working on some
Challenges.
goals,
Challenges. Challenges. Sorry.
and Brittany is chomping at the bit trying to get me to get on video.
Yes.
So she wants to torture me, I think, with some nasty food.
I was tortured recently on my stream, so it's now I'm paying it forward.
Yes, yes, and I actually went back and I watched all of that,
Oh my
and you
god.
with the jelly beans, and you're like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Ugh!
Right. Well, they found out. They called me out early because I have my jar
Because you
of beans.
cheated,
I didn't cheat. I just bought 2 packs of beans. One was Bean Boozled and one was good beans. And I
which
took
doubled
them.
your chance of getting good beans.
Yeah. And I think one of my good streamer friends, I'll name drop him, Main Event, figured me out real quick because he was the one who dropped big biddies to have
Mm-hmm.
me. And I was like, well, I guess I'll just go till I get a bad one. It was like 9 beans in before I got a bad one.
See, I'm not gonna do that.
I think by the end
I'm
of the
just gonna.
night, by the end of
I'm
the
just
night,
gonna.
it was like 22 beans, give or take.
Yeah, I'm
And
just gonna, take my punishment and try not to throw up.
I was crushing the tums and hugging the toilet. And it was fun. It was a good time.
Was it worth it?
Absolutely. Would I do it again? Yes, but I'm raising the price of those beans. In fact, I might do that today. I might might put that on there and just have them be. They were 100 biddies for a bean. I think I might make them 500 biddies, which is $5 for a bean.
So, if you guys are wondering what we're talking about as far as challenges go, the challenges for me are if I get 50 Spotify followers, I will do a sour candy challenge, meaning I will eat sour candy. I do not eat sour candy. I don't like it. It's disgusting. My husband already has plans on what he's going to buy so that I can eat it. I'm not
Yay.
looking forward to it.
Woohoo.
If I get 100 Spotify followers, I will do a Bean Boozled challenge. I will not buy the good beans. I will do the actual challenge.
I do the challenge. They're just mixed in. I have a whole mason jar full of different jelly beans. Even some of the good beans are nasty.
I know, right? I like the lawn clippings.
Did you just
That's that. Hmm?
wait a minute? Lawn clippings?
Yeah, I like the lawn clippings.
Okay.
I think it
Anyway,
tastes good.
you're weird. Next, then nobody. No, that's then. If you get lawn clippings, you have to get another bean.
Oh, now you're upping it on me.
Yeah. So
Oh,
you
you're
reach a
being
hundred
mean.
followers, You do a bean boozled. If you get a good bean, I want you to go till you get a bad bean.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Yeah. And what was your last challenge?
If I get monetized, meaning I have to reach 1,000 listeners in 60 days, if I do that, I will do a spicy food challenge,
Spicy
which is going to be difficult because I don't have a gallbladder, so it's painful.
torture. And I think I touched on this or asked last time. 1,000 listeners. You had specified different devices. Did we research that? Is that true? Is that the thing? Like
It,
I'm talking, play it on the laptop, play it on the Xbox, play it on the tablet, on the
it,
on Spotify.
I think it has to be different devices. It's not, it doesn't give an exact specification,
Okay.
but I can screenshot it to you and you can help me look into it if you want.
Yeah, I'll be more than happy to do that.
I would appreciate it.
Sure.
Brittany is my soundboard, by the way.
Okay.
I throw ideas at her and she lets me know if they're good or not.
Yeah, well, I'm learning myself. It's a learning curve doing this whole content creating thing, and
It really is.
I'm slowly learning things with streaming, and we can incorporate it for podcasting too. So
Hmm.
fun stuff.
But that is going to be all for me tonight for this spooky season. And starting November, I don't really have a whole lot planned yet. But November 1st starts my birthday month.
Woohoo!
Um, and much like Brittany, my birthday is at the end of the month.
Yay!
So I will be doing something. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do,
Does your
but
birthday fall on the particular holiday this year?
it does not.
Not this year. Okay,
Not this year.
gotcha.
Yes, I'm a Thanksgiving baby. I was born on Thanksgiving, folks.
We just
But
holiday babies up in here. Okay.
we are. And then my oldest was born on a holiday as well. So,
Love it. All
but
right.
that's all for me. And unless you have something you would like to say, Brittany, we
Nope.
will do our sign off. Would you like to join me for it?
Sure.
As always, folks, stay
Stay
true and
true and
whatnot.
whatnot.
Later.
Bye.